What's up guys, this is Ronnie. Welcome back to our channel Total Technology Zone. This is tutorial 3 and in this tutorial I will show you how to use GraphRAG Pipeline class to build your knowledge graph or knowledge base, whatever we can call it. Okay. So if you remember in the last class what we did this three things like schema extraction, entity extraction and the write back to Neo4j as a knowledge graph. Okay, but in that tutorial I have discussed something. Let's say if your text content is too heavy or if you are dealing with large number of data, that time this simple entity extraction with the help of LLM will not work because like if you are sending multiple requests, so maybe you might be going to get a rate limit error, or maybe your text is number of word or number of tokens are required, which kind of exhaust or breach the LLM context window. That time also you will get some error. To overcome this problem, we have something called TextSplitter. Okay, so the idea is to use that large number of text inside using this TextSplitter class. We can get the multiple chunks, then multiple chunks will be passed to this entity extractor, and from that entity extractor we'll be going to get this graph, and then we'll get back the final knowledge graph. Okay, okay, this is clear to everyone, right? There is nothing new, but now the main objective of this tutorial is to create something scalable. Let's say we are going to build a pipeline, knowledge graph ingestion pipeline, where this text splitter, entity extractor and knowledge graph writer, all this thing will be act as a separate individual component, and all this individual component will be added into a pipeline. Means first step, the first component text splitter will split your text and get the chunks. Then this chunk will be passed to this entity extractor. It will give you the lexical graph, and then this graph will be passed to this kg writer component and you will get a final graph. Okay, so basically we'll be going to create a single pipeline, and inside the single pipeline the text splitter, the entity extractor and the knowledge graph writer, all those things will be added as a component, and these operations are going to be run as a sequentially. Like this will be the step 1, this will be step 2 and this will be step 3. So the output of this text splitter will be used as an input to this entity extractor. Means whatever we are going to get from the text splitter like component, let's say we'll be going to get some chunks. That chunks will be used in the entity extractor as a input. Then from this entity extractor we'll be going to get a graph schema, right? Not a graph schema, you can call it as a graph, or maybe you can call it a lexical graph. That will be used as an input to this component, and that final component will build the graph. Okay, this is some sort of like some generalized content. I just took it from the GraphRAG official documentation, and there are the multiple components. I just keep it like kind of a in a blockwise manner so that you guys will have some idea what exactly is happening, and some sort of like some use cases like what exactly you are doing. So we'll be going to load a large document, we'll split into chunks. Okay, and then we are extracting the entities and write back to the knowledge graph, and these are the benefits. Okay, so I believe enough of theory. Hope you guys are like kind of getting the context already. So let me go ahead and start working with the source code. So before dealing with the knowledge graph or the Neo4j actual graph creation, what I will do, I will just do something called how to use this like pipeline first. That I will do. Okay, so from Neo4j GraphRAG dot exception, sorry, experimental, okay, dot pipeline import pipeline. Okay, so as it is a class, so what I'll do, I'll just write pipeline, or maybe pipeline equals to pipeline. Okay, and now we'll be going to component and data model. Okay, so what I'll do, we're just going to create couple of more component now. So first component will be class comp comp1, and this will take as a component. Okay, and just async def run. Okay, self, and here it will output of this is actually comp1 output. Okay, we'll define a class here. Okay, class comp1 output. This is going to be data model. Okay, and let's say value will be str. Okay, similarly what I do will be going to create something to come to output like this here, and what I do, return. Okay, so comp1 output. Okay, like this, and then it should be value, and output from comp1. So guys, what I'm trying to say, I took a lot of time and I invested my own understanding and knowledge to build this tutorial. So you won't find any such tutorial which is giving you that level of depth and detail with this library. Okay, I just because of my interest, and I already spend a lot of time with this SDK, I actually figure it out how these things are work, and this is a very powerful module. Okay, so this pipeline class, so basically, as I told you, the input of the one component will be output of the previous component will be used as an input to the next component. So whatever output we are getting from the component one, I mean this one, will be used in this component, will be used by this component. Okay, so now what I do, I'll be going to use this output here as a to here self, and I just pass something called, let's say, input. Okay, and here the value will be, how the value will be, let's say, a f string. Okay, and I can simply write this, and what I do, I just write input. Okay, all done, right? My two components are ready, this and to output data model I created. Right now the next thing is we have to actually work on the main function. So I just create something like async def run pipeline. This is nothing to do with knowledge graph writing, but just to give you guys some sort of understanding, I'm doing it. Okay, and here what exactly we are going to do, we'll be going to, let's say, we'll be going to write pipeline dot add component. Okay, what will be the component? So comp1, this is the first component. I will call it as, we have to give a name to the component. Okay, so this is the actual instance of the function, and this is the name. So from the next time we'll be just going to refer with this name. Okay, com2, and this will be used as a com2. Okay, done. Now you have to connect this. Okay, so the first component, second component, you have to connect. If you don't write this thing, it will not work. So my first component will be comp1. Okay, comp1. My end component will be comp2, com2, and here the important thing. So the input. So this input will be this input will get the value from here, from this component comp1. So I can simply write comp1. Okay, I'll show you what exactly is happening, you will understand. Okay, right, so this is done. Then I just create something called result equals to await pipeline dot run, and we have to pass something called data, and there we're just going to pass blank because we have nothing here to do. It is done, and then we're just going to return result dot result. Okay, so the result will be have a like attribute called result. It will be inside that. Okay, all done. Then if underscore underscore name underscore underscore this underscore underscore main. Okay, fine. Okay, this. Then what I do, async. I think I forgot to import actually. Okay, import async io. Okay, fine. So async io dot run, and inside that I just write run pipeline like this. Okay, and I can easily write it should be part of some variable, but what I do, I just entirely write this thing into a print. Okay, something like this. Okay, done. So it will be going to give you something like this, like input from comp1 and output from comp2. Okay, so combination of these two things will be coming, but we have to do we have to deal with some sort of dictionary, like what do you say, dictionary parsing, etc., dict parsing, etc. We have to do it, so let's deal with that. Okay, so it's done. So basically, see, now understand. So whenever an output is coming from a pipeline, it will become as a dictionary, and the main key will be the component name. The final output is this, and this is the value, like entire thing is as a value. I have written here as a value. Okay, so it is saying that, and then input. So basically this is the input from the comp1. Okay, so as I said, comp1 is the input. So basically if I write comp1 dot value, if I just write this thing, then I will be going to get this one only. Okay, so it should be value, this dictionary will be there, then this string will be there, and then this string will be there. Okay, okay, so value. Now basically, let's say I want to actually do this part as well. Okay, so what I do, uh, let's see something. Okay, so this entire thing is here, so I can let's say I can simply write com2. Let's see. Okay, right, and now if I do again the value, fine, right, all right, everything is fine. Right, so in this way we can actually pass like variables or values, or we can connect with the multiple component, and we can run our pipeline. So with this similar approach, I'll be going to use the I'll be going to use this file to extract the entity and write it back to Neo4j. So this part, whatever just now I did, this is very important. You won't find anything in the YouTube or anywhere in the internet which is giving you that level of detail. Maybe after my video is like uploaded into YouTube, lots of YouTubers are going to do it. As I'm a very small YouTuber, so my video might be going to be like, maybe, I don't know, maybe it will not be visible to like the audience, right? But I wish and I pray that you guys should get the benefit out of it. Okay, so next, let's see now the next part, the main use case. So use case 1 dot py. Okay, so I will be going to copy this entire thing first. Okay, okay, I just copy this entire thing. Okay, so couple of more things I'll be going to create. So I'll be going to create total 3 component. One component will be split, one component will be entity relationship extraction, and one component will be the kg write back. Okay, so let's do the first component here. Okay, so first component will be the text splitter. Okay, split component, comp. Okay, split component. So split component generally gives you what? Split component generally give you chunks, if I'm not wrong. You guys remember, right? From the split we generally get something called chunks, right? This is clear, right? Split component will give you the chunks. Okay, so let's see split component. So this is actually okay, okay, split component output. So I just try to give out, okay, sp comp output. This is split component. The split component is going to give you output as a chunks. Okay, so for that we have to actually import these things. So from neo4j graphrag dot experimental dot experimental, then I think it will be part of what, let me remember. Hmm, okay, components and then types. So import neo4j graph TextChunks. I think these two things are there. Okay, so this sp split sp or maybe sp like split. Okay, so it will be type of TextChunks, remember. Okay, then component 2 will be actually component 2 output will be actually entity relationship extractor. So I just write entity extraction entity extraction component output comp output. Okay, so this is going to give you the neo4j graph. Okay, this is going to give you a neo4j graph, the final thing. Okay, and let me think the other thing. What exactly the other thing does? Mm, Other thing could be anything, it doesn't require such. Okay, so these two things are important. So comp1 will be the splitter, I'll just use it. So and then I just write plus comp comp3 and comp3 will be component. Okay, done. Now this is a final thing. Okay, okay, now what will happen with this thing, we are just going to create the entire thing. Okay, the pipeline, this thing, and then everything uh, kind of in a connected manner. Okay, so this is the ultimate objective. Okay, so first thing first, let me okay, what I do, just forget about this component 3 at this moment. First we'll build this two part, then we'll do it. Okay, so this is the component 1. Component 1 will be my split, so I just copy it here and I paste it here, and this component 2 will be this one. Okay, and I will just paste it here. Okay, right, so this is here and this is here. So now what we'll do, I'll copy it here and I just copy it here. Okay, okay, so now the next objective is to run this two things from here. So this is a pipeline, let me add those things. I have a component 1 and component 2 is added, component 1 component 2, and input at this thing. Okay, so we'll do it, don't worry. So first of all I will just ignore this part and I just slowly build it. Okay, so the component 1 component 2, and here one thing what you have to do, you have to read from this file. Okay, so with then with open Slowly I'll do it, don't worry guys, we'll do everything. Okay, with open. This will be a little bit lengthy tutorial, but don't worry, after once the tutorial is over, you will you will thank me actually. Okay, so r as f1 like this, and then text equals to f1 dot read. Okay, and then f1 dot close. All done. Now, so what generally happens in this split, we are just going to pass the text and get this thing done by the splitting function. So in Neo4j GraphRAG, we have a specific classes available for this split. Okay, so we are just going to use that. So this will be part of it will be the part of components and the text splitter. Okay, so from Neo4j GraphRAG, then experimental, then components. Okay, then something called TextSplitter, then FixedSizeTextSplitter, then import. Okay, FixedTextSplitter. Okay, we are exactly going to use this part. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I will go here. So I just write fs means fixed size text splitter, then I will just write fs. Okay, and inside that I'll be just going to define all my parameter, etc. So it requires something called chunk size and chunk overlap. So let's say I'll be just going to give chunk size is 8000, and chunk overlap, let's say I just want to make it 100. This is done. So next thing, it will be kind of this is kind of we have to run this thing. Okay, so st equals to, let's say, await. Okay, await, and fs dot run. Okay, okay, async def run split. Okay, and just hold on. I think async def this is so I am just doing it in a wrong place. Sorry guys, I think it has to be done here. Sorry, I was doing it a wrong place. So this is my component one. So what I do, I just or maybe I just keep it like this. This is okay, fs run, and inside the run, what we have to do, we have to pass this input. So if you see the text, we have to pass text to be split. So this text will be coming from what, this text. Okay, okay, done. And then this value will be coming, this value. Okay, this value. So what exactly we are going to put the value, that is very important. Okay, so what I do, I just going to write st. Okay, and what exactly, just hold on, let me tell you what exactly is going to happen. Right, okay, so if I run this thing, what will happen, this is going to pass the text chunk here. Okay, and just to make sure whether we are doing correctly or not, what I do, I will just going to show you one st here. Okay, so you will understand what exactly is happening. This is the next thing, next component, and then the next component will be going to use this input. Okay, so now what is the input, that is the important thing, right? So here the input is basically the text chunk, like whatever chunks we are providing, that we have to pass. Okay, so let's something called chunks, and this will be text chunk. Okay, this is coming, this chunk is coming actually. Okay, So extract output, and here what exactly is going to happen, that will be discussed now. Okay, so now if you remember, in entity extraction we are just going to generally use LLM entity extraction, right? Okay, so that module we are going to import here, LLM entity relation extractor. Okay, again it will be part of component from experimental, but it will be inside the entity relation extractor. Okay, so it will be part of this component. I just copy this thing here. Okay, so entity relation extractor import, sorry, it will be small, import. Okay, fine, done. Now this is component 2. Here the main thing will be going to happen. So I'll be just going to create the source code now for this part. Okay, so let's create something called extractor. Okay, extractor, so it will be LLM entity extraction. Okay, so first will be LLM. Okay, uh, LLM will be the first like parameter here. I don't have any LLM here, so what I'll do, I'll just going to copy it here, and I'll be just going to take the reference from OpenAI. Okay, so let me check the OpenAI LLM. So from neo4j GraphRAG .llm import something called OpenAI LLM, right? We're just going to use this OpenAI LLM only. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just write OpenAI LLM. Okay, and we just write model underscore name equals to GPT 4o mini. We just try to reduce some cost, so yeah, we just want to use that. So there is another thing called model params, so it will be something like this. Okay, so we can pass max token and response format. Okay, so max underscore token and response format. You can actually ignore this max token if you want to, but it doesn't matter. So max token, let's say I want to pass max token for, let's say 20,000. Okay, and there's something called response format type JSON. Okay, response underscore format. Okay, and again it will be a separate dictionary here, like type, and it will be JSON object. Okay, right, JSON object. So guys, now the question may be that how I remember this thing. So it's, if you keep on like practicing or coding, you will remember. And again, remembering is not a big deal. You are not going to become like super powerful if you remember this thing. There is no such thing. Okay, now let's say create a variable chunks called ch1ks. So this is coming from this chunks. Okay, and technically it is it's not required actually. So now what we do, we are just going to run this thing. Okay, so await extractor dot run. Okay, chunks equals to our input chunks, this chunks whatever is coming, and this will be part of a graph here, and here we are just going to return the graph, nothing else, and this will be coming here as a graph. Okay, that's it. Okay, I believe this is the thing we are looking for. And now what we'll do, we'll just try to actually see what exactly is coming here. Okay, so if everything goes fine, we'll be able to see this thing. So now, okay, so component one input is actually there's a chunk, so I can just change it to chunks in case chunks equals to comp1 dot value. Comp1 dot value is actually this one. Hopefully this will work. Okay, so now let's see what exactly is happening, and if there is any error we'll be able to figure it out, don't worry. Okay, so error is a normal thing. Okay, so let's see, let's try to execute. Okay, so I just want to see what exactly is coming. So there, if you execute this thing, probably you will be able to see some nodes and relationships. Okay, okay, execute. So this is just reading a text file, and after that we are passing this to here. These things are happening here. Okay, so let's execute. Okay, so this part is correctly working. It prints, it's able to print this one. As I told you, if there is any error we'll be able to fix it, don't worry. So this entire chunk is came. So if you see, the chunk and everything is coming here. Okay, so these chunks are coming. Now let's go back and see the error. So max token got an unexpected max token. Okay, so it is saying it has something called max token. I think something called max token limit or something. Max token. Oh, I see. There will be a plural. Okay, so that is why. Okay, and response format. So again another thing, response format, PONAC. Last time also I did this spelling mistake. Okay, fine. Okay, here also max token is too large. This model supports. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so just hold on. So okay, so maybe GPT-4o. Let me not do it mini. Okay, let me deal with 8,000. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so I think this is giving me nice graph. Okay, okay, where it is where it starts actually, it's starting here. Okay, I believe it is starting here. Let me check. Yeah, it starts from here. I think in this label or somewhere. Yes, from here actually it starts. Okay, now what I do, I just ignore this thing. I just want to see the graph actually, only the graph, nothing else. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, cool, super cool. I think, yeah, okay. Everything is coming quite nicely here. Nodes, ID, everything is coming properly. Okay, fine, all right. So now what we'll do, we'll try to actually write it back into the graph, but this time I'll be just going to create another module or another component, and that will be going to use. So okay, that part will be going to do, like write back to the graph. Okay, okay, so what we'll do now, we'll be going to add one more component now, that is write back the graph. Okay, so for that, let's see, com3 component async def, and here something called graph equals to neo4j graph. Okay, right? And now maybe I will check this thing. Mm, mm, this is chunks. Yeah, it starts from, I believe, from here, and mm, okay. So the thing is, whatever we are getting it from that step, we need to write it back as a graph. So that part you have to remember. Like in the Neo4j pipeline, um, the graph will be the graph also actually having some value. So that part is required. So what I do now, just hold on. Let me think. I maybe did something. I don't know. Okay, so let's just do one more thing. Okay, so this is a graph, and basically this graph is actually coming from here. So what I like to do, let me just do something called graph equals to this. Okay, right? And let me um, this is comp2 and the value. Okay, so maybe print of graph. Okay, let's execute. Yeah, fine. So now what I do, um, what I do, um, I will. This is the output actually here. Okay, so I can simply write this is the extractor and this is the output. Okay, so let me think a little bit. Okay, so then probably I will understand what exactly happening, or else it will be difficult. mm, so this extracted is happening, so it is returning this one. So now I want to actually extract this thing in the component 3. I want to extract this thing into the component 3, remember. Okay, like this. Okay, so that is my goal. Okay, so this is this part I don't know what exactly is going to happen, and this part also I don't know what is going to happen. So let me think. This is a com3, and it is going to return, let's say we're just going to return something called a string, or maybe we don't want to return anything, we just want to print something, or maybe I can return something, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I want to just return the graph. Okay, simply graph or something, or I don't know. Let me think what I want to return. Maybe I don't want to return anything. We just want to print that the Neo4j and everything is successfully work. Okay, so I don't want anything here. Okay, I don't want anything here. It will be just a print. Okay, like this. Okay, graph. And now we have to think how we are just going to pass it. Okay, so for that, couple of things we have to do. From neo4j uh, import graph database. That is one thing we have to import. And we need to import something called neo4j writer, kg writer. Okay, and import JSON. Why I'm importing JSON, I will tell you. I just want to extract the schema. Okay, into a extract this thing into a JSON file. Okay, that is why, I mean, the knowledge graph I want to extract into a JSON file. So let me copy up to this part here. Okay, okay, dot kg writer, okay, import neo4j writer. Okay, all done. Now what I will do, I'll be just going to create a neo4j this thing, uh, a driver, this thing, means something like a neo4j driver here. Okay, so that driver is actually going to happen here. So driver equals to graph database dot driver. Okay, graph database dot driver. Okay, so URI will be something, then auth will be neo4j and some password, and I have already created a neo4j. I'll be just going to use that one. Okay, okay, fine, I'll be just going to use this one. Okay, okay, so this is the password. Okay, okay, so this is the user ID and password over here. So I'm just creating a neo4j driver. Okay, now we'll be going to create a writer. Okay, writer equals to neo4j writer dot neo4j writer. So neo4j writer, inside the neo4j writer, what we will use, will be going to use driver as a driver. Okay, so something called this driver as this driver. Done. Now here the main part is this one. Okay, so write kg. Okay, await write, what is that, write kg, mm, let's await write kg dot run. Okay, why this is not coming, I don't know. uh, what is the problem here? A single def is there, class component. So it's just write kg. Oh, sorry. Ah, my mind is completely, so it should be extractor. Okay, dot run. Okay, now we need to uh, mm, this extractor, just creating this extractor and this run, and there we are just going to pass it. So just let me think this, how we are going to run it. Okay, so just let me think about it. Extractor dot run, this writer, so sorry, it will be writer dot run. Okay, so in the writer dot run, we are just going to pass this graph. This graph. Now the graph means what? This graph means this neo4j graph. Okay, graph. Okay, so now there will be some catch. Okay, let's say I'm telling you what catch. So here, what is this? Just imagine this this comp2 is connected here. I need to actually connect this one again. So there is one more component, right? So this comp3 will be called as comp3, remember. Okay, so connect, this is pipeline 1 and 2 is connected. Now pipeline 2 and 3 will be also connected, remember. Okay, so it should be uh, comp2 and comp3, right? Now this is actually, this requires a graph. Okay, Remember, this requires a graph. Okay, right. So for that, what is actually going to happen? So this is graph. Okay, let me write it here, graph, and this graph will going to get the value from com2. Okay, basically run pipeline. So run pipeline means what is actually going to happen. Let me tell you something here. So this run pipeline means first it will run this, it will get the value, then it will be going to get the value, this com2. So com2 dot value, if com2 to value will pass, it will be going to get passed into the this graph, and it is going to just write it back here. And once this is done, uh, we can just simply write print graph uh, added these lines actually confuse me, sorry. Graph added successfully. Okay, FULLY. Okay, now the main thing, I have a graph here. I want to actually write the graph into this thing here. Okay, so how to actually do that? Okay, so this graph is actually here. I'm using this graph, and this graph is this one graph, and now I want to actually use it. So for that, maybe I'm just thinking, I just want to give a print statement, nothing else. Okay, maybe the print statement will be more than enough. Okay, so maybe I can write graph underscore data, something like this I can write. Okay, and I can create a dictionary like this. Okay, then I will write nodes. Okay, so nodes is going to be a list like this. Okay, and this will be a dictionary within a list, right? Okay, and there you can simply put a comma. Okay, right, and here I can simply write uh, for node in graph dot nodes. If I'm not wrong, this is going to be like that, right? Okay, the last tutorial we did this part actually. And graph has two things, node has actually three things: id, label, properties. So I can simply write id equals to node of id, right? Okay, then something called properties. Okay, properties equals to node of, right, properties. Okay, and the last thing will be label. Okay, here, so label equals to node of label, label, right? So id, label, property, these things are done. Now we are going to do the same thing for relationships. Okay, done. Means here this comma, and after that we are just going to write uh, relationships, okay, same thing like this. Okay, and then this. Okay, and here. Okay, just same thing for uh, uh, for relation. I think it should be for rel in relation, for rel in relationships like this, and it should be graph of this. I think this is correct. Okay, and there we are just going to write. So first type will be my type of relationship type. So it will be rel of type. Okay, like this type. After that, I think start node ID, end node ID, and properties. So something like start underscore node underscore ID. Okay, then end underscore node underscore ID. Okay, then rel, and there what I will do, rel, uh, just let me think what will be the property. Okay, I think this is also start node ID and end node ID. Okay, like from the output we can easily understand start node ID and end node ID. Okay, so I can simply copy this. Okay, right, and here rel, we can simply copy this thing, copy, done. And the last part will be, okay, comma and comma, and then properties equals to rel of properties. Okay, done. So my graph data is ready. Once the graph data is ready, you have to actually add it into a JSON file. Just want to validate that whether it is working fine or not. So what I do, I just write with open. Okay, with open, then like let's say graph dot JSON like this, and I can simply write w. Okay, okay, as if like this. Okay, and then JSON dot dump graph data, and if, and indent equals to 3 or 2. Sorry, to be, maybe we can just make it 2. Okay, done. So everything is done and added properly, and I think I don't need anything here. This is just execution of this thing. Okay, done. So run the pipeline. First it will run this thing, then it will run this thing. So first it will get the like chunks from here, and it will extract the graph, and from this too it will be going to get the main graph, and we are just going to create the graph. So now what I will do, I will show you guys this database. Okay, don't worry, once the tutorial is over I will delete it. So let me go ahead. This is the database, and if I click on query, okay, so I have nothing here. Maybe I'll refresh and show you one more time. Okay, I have nothing, and this is the database. If you see here, mm, okay, 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 so this is a database. Okay, and we're just using this, or maybe what I can do, I will open it from here. Maybe that is also possible. Okay, okay, and meanwhile I'll just take the password from here. Okay, connect to the instance. Okay, okay, oh, okay, let's copy this here and paste it here, and then put it neo4j. Okay, done. It will be connected, same thing. Okay, nothing is there. Okay, okay, big screen, bigger, better. Okay, now objective is to run it. Okay, open a terminal and let's do it. Okay, So input text, this also you can add in the pipeline. So right now I have three component in the pipeline. Component 1 is splitting, component 2 is actually doing the entity extraction, component 3 is actually writing the kg. Okay, run it. If there are any errors, we'll fix it then and there, don't worry. Okay, so what is this? Some line annotated by the name. The run method return type must be annotated in name. Okay, so line 28. Okay, so it is saying that I have to pass a return. Okay, all right, so it is asking me to actually annotate with some output type. So what I do, just copy this thing here. Okay, and I need to just fine. Okay, and what I'll do, so just hold on. So I can simply return this exactly this one. Okay, and the value will be graph. So graph is actually here, graph data here. Okay, so I think there is something I can do. These two variables are actually interchanging name, so I can change it to kg. Okay, I can name it to kg, and I can make it kg, and I can also make it kg. Okay, so now it is fine. This graph is graph, this kg is kg, and now what I will do, I will just pass this kg here. Okay, right, and what I will do, I'll also write here graph equals to this. So basically it will be just going to print the value, print graph, because this kg is only coming from here. Okay, right, so the name of this is actually com3. So let's see. Okay, so hopefully there should not be any error. If there is any more error, we can again fix it. That is it's not a big deal. Okay, okay, fine, let's execute it. Okay, why I did not this thing, this is just returning, not returning anything, so I just try to actually keep it as it is, but as I understood that this requires some annotate output. Okay, fine. Okay, let's execute. Okay, it takes time. Means something is happening. Okay, so something is happening, transaction failed and will be retrieved. I don't know, unable to retrieve the routing information. Maybe my internet is not connected, I don't know what is happening there. Okay, strange. Okay, let's go here and check something. Hmm. Okay, I don't know why it is not working. Unable to retrieve routing information. Unable to retrieve routing information. Okay, so from the pipeline, it is not working, it seems. Pipeline run. Okay, data and connect to 3. And actually it was getting failed here, it was failing here actually, writer here, but I just want to check. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just try to actually print the kg and see whether I'm able to get the value or not. That is the important thing right now. Why it is not able to write, that we'll see, but let's do that. Okay, I understood why it is happening. Okay, so it's a SSL error. So it should be neo4j SC. Okay, so guys, if you are not having any, if you are getting the certificate related error, you have to just use it like that way. Okay, so I just keep it like this. So error was there, building the driver, so that is why I keep it here. Okay, if it was giving the error like here, so it part was like able to execute, like the driver was not able to build, so that is why you are getting the error. Okay, okay, so now the very important thing, the kg writer object is not subscribable. Okay, so it is giving this. Okay, so now let's try to understand whether my graph is ready or not, because the getting the error in this line, it means it was able to process the graph. Okay, ideally. So let's execute. Then we'll do the other part. Fix. Good. It is able to build everything. So if I just go here and showcase, call db.schema dot visualization, and if I execute, fine, it is able to do it. Fine. Good. Now our objective is to understand why this kg was not working here. Okay, so for that part, what I will do, I'll just try to print it here. Okay, let's see this kg. Okay, let's see. Okay, the cannot access the local variable where it was associated with a value. It is saying that cannot. Okay, maybe I did a mistake. Before I assign, I actually uh, put it. Oh my god, strange. Okay, okay, sometime it happens. Okay, kg writer model object is not subscribable. Okay, so let's understand why it is happening. Here. Hmm. Why it is not writing this thing back, means they should write something here, right? I don't understand why. Hmm. Ah, I see. Hmm. Strange, man. This is not returning anything. This is just this. Okay, so writer is just writing. Oh my god, strange, man. What I'm doing. Okay, it should be graph only. This is also going to be graph only. I don't know what I was thinking here. I was thinking that uh, return type of this function is also going to be a neo4j graph. Okay, so that is why, that is what I'm thinking. Okay, so again it should be graph only, not kg. Okay, fine. Now what I will do, I'll just go here and I will click on the instance. Okay, and I will reset to blank, and then I will again this thing here. Okay, nothing is there, so once this is done, one JSON file will be created and the graph will be ready. Okay, clear. Okay, I believe this is the final time. I'm just running the code. Okay, everything is fine. Okay, and there should be a JSON. Okay, okay, all good, right? So that's it, guys. So now one more addition, we can even add this thing into the pipeline. Maybe I can keep it for all of you, kind of a assignment or homework. Okay, so this is kind of a very interesting tutorial. I am satisfied with the level of detailing I'm able to put inside this tutorial, because I got a lot of requests for last couple of months that how to use that GraphRAG SDK or GraphRAG module, like official Neo4j package, right, for building the knowledge graph or building the GraphRAG or this thing. So like, see, if you use LLM and API, etc., obviously from the abstraction layer it will do all the embedding, etc. That is nothing new, all the databases are doing. But just because we are dealing with graphy use case or some critical connected data driven use case, so with that perspective you should know all these things. If you don't know the basics or fundamentals of using, why you are going to use this module, right, if you don't know this thing, then probably won't be able to solve the critical challenges for the enterprise, right? So I believe this is the third tutorial, right? So first tutorial we understood how to extract the schema, next tutorial we understood how to extract the entity and then how to write it back to Neo4j, and in this tutorial we understood how to actually build a pipeline with all these components. Okay, so that's it. In the next part, as I promised, like every week I'm coming back with some other tutorial. So next week also I'll be planning to do some sort of real uh, real problem, like, see, this module is vast, like this GraphRAG. I can go through the API documentation and create hundreds of video, but no, actually whatever I'm trying to do it here, exactly the same way we are actually using it in the company for helping our customers. Okay, so this is a very rich context driven tutorial. I am actually giving and putting a lot of effort before uploading the video, right? So it's an humble request, guys, please try to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, try to share our videos with your family and friend, and if you think these videos are helping you, try to put some comment as well, so that it will it will uh, it will tweak like YouTube algorithm to promote my videos to the large number of audience. Ultimately my goal is to reach large number of audience, so it's an humble request, guys, please help me grow. And as you know, I'm always come back with nice and quality content. Okay, with that note, I'm just going to conclude the video over here. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care, goodbye, have a nice day and happy learning and happy weekend. Thank you.